வணக்கம் நண்பர்களே, இது உங்கள் வேற பழனிசாமி. நம்ம யூபிஎஸ்சி சிவில் சர்வீஸ் எக்ஸாம் 2025-26 டிரான்ஸ்கிரிப்ட் இன்டர்வியூ டிரான்ஸ்கிரிப்ட் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கோம். அந்த வேலை இன்னைக்கு பார்க்க போகிறது ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட் இஸ் ஃப்ரம் எக்கனாமிக்ஸ் ஆப்ஷனல். பட் இவர் எந்த ஸ்டேட் நமக்கு தெரியல. பட் வில் சி குவிக்லி, வி வில் ஃபினிஷ் இட் குவிக், ரைட்? அண்ட் போர்டு டாக்டர் தினேஷ் தாசா அண்ட் ஆப்ஷனல் எக்கனாமிக்ஸ், ரைட்? இன்டர்வியூ டேட் 18/2/2026. Key detail application form details. Economics graduation and optional. Economics is a graduation as well as optional. Following international affairs in hobby and Chinese language and Niti Ayog, nothing asked about it. And board Dinesh Dasa sir, and question asked, right? And chairperson comes with. So asked me to introduce myself and why I was learning Chinese. Asked about the Nixon shock. I not heard about learn. So mentioned Bretton Woods and then the system that followed. Then asked me to miss about it. When I got that point and US President Nixon shutting the gold window, and he explained that what he was asking in the first place. So I thanked him for the information. So that's it. So the clue got a but that's what he says. It he really thanked the chairperson, right? Because it's economics. And discussion on currency exchange and currency exchange rate system after this point of history till present. And gave a monologue, again as usual, long discussion. And Indian women keeping more gold than several countries, central banks. Then asked if the government would really do something leverage the sky high market prices of gold and monetize the same. I recounted the South Korean example of similar activity in 1997 during IMF crisis, although that involved donation. And talked about it, offering gold loans as ideal assets as the boost consumption in the economy, but also the fact there is an emotional angle attached to the Indian women keeping gold and saving, so they may not part with that easily. And somehow, despite a long conversation on this, are kept countering, but it was smiling throughout the interview, right? Then member 1. So member 1 said it was not relating to the interview, but asked why I was wearing a blazer over the saree. Oh, this is girl. So I had seen this question and before and in a transcript. Yes, same question. நம்மளே இது ரெண்டாவது முறை பார்க்குறோம். இதே மாதிரி டிரான்ஸ்கிரிப்ட், இதே மாதிரி ஒரு கேள்வி, நீ சேரீ எதுக்கு பிளேசர் சேரீக்கு மேலே போட்டிருக்க அப்படின்னு. then that's fine. So this is, we also did the same, நம்ம வீடியோல பண்ணியிருக்கோம். So before in the transcript, so at this time I could only say it was a cold today, and since it had rained early in the morning, and Sar laughed and said, me too. Okay, discuss on quad and wavering momentum, and whether we would continue or we should continue at present form or headed towards secularism. Securitization, and counter questions on the same when I tried to take a middle path because I genuinely felt so, and explained my rationale. And he said China is already hostile towards in the all, so why not go for full securitization? And I said something along the lines of preventing undue conflict would be the best interest of all. And asked about some naval event happening in South India, and somehow I completely skipped the full page ad, and the newspaper talked about, and they did not go well. So conversation went on regarding the maritime security, and long discussion regarding Board of Peace, whether I think it will be successful or not. And member 2 asked if I know the amount of gold that male and female individuals can hold. So I could not remember the exact value. Then he told himself, and the follow-up questions, and that I can't remember. And monologue on how 99.5% of candidates fail, yet people keep wasting their time, youth time in UPSC, perhaps because it was my 4th attempt, and asked what can be done about this. So I answered both from the perspective of one of these aspirants as well as an economist, but his expression was changing entire time. So I don't know if he was satisfied with the answer. So this also happened. It's okay. After Dasa sir, said I can leave, but I found it quite strange because two panel members had not asked anything. So I stood up to leave. The other panel members pointed out that fact as well as they asked me sit down again. So that happened. Okay, then member 3. So wanted to know the US dollar is the world reserve currency and which grouping that has been talking about challenging that. So at this point, Dasa sir said, we have already asked me much on economic, so can you choose another topic if you want? And since I knew the theme, I went on it and again wanted to know why I was learning Chinese, but kept interrupting. We had this question also already being asked. So member 5 did not ask anything and Dasa sir said, and he was a professor of economics, so only observes, and those with the background and subject, it doesn't ask anything. Quite interesting. So then, and again he said that I can leave, and there was probably some time left in discussion, and once again, and again chairperson asked question. So you have worked with Niti Aayog. I told him that I had interned there, and I thought he would ask about the research topic, but they said too much economics is already being asked. So it has been 10 years since the organization was established, but the building is the same. The changes, did you notice working, and how is it different from the planning commission? So did you think that Niti Aayog is grounded to a reality? And I answered all these and also mentioned the experts involved in the body as well as the role of advisors and young professionals interns, right? See, so what type of people who are there, this body involved, the body are role of advisors, then young professionals and intern. So this person, this candidate was a intern there in the Niti Aayog, right? So this is a detail about it. Fine. And further, and various verticals under which work is carried out. And further elaboration along with these lines and drawing from my experience and what we generally study for the mains. Then Sir took at, looked at the panel members and then recounted the days of planning commission and how their officials would be welcomed the states to secure funding, while this doesn't happen anymore. So then he asked me if Niti Aayog holds any significance and it no longer has any financial devolution powers. I gave my rationale, and at the end there was no discussion wherein, and he was happy to hear that was a good thing. Okay, that the organization was no longer of the political nature and purely advisory body. And the total duration was about 25 to 30 minutes, vastly different from any mocks, and they were quite helpful in terms of getting used and putting them forth an opinion in front of multiple senior people. The actual personality tests seem to be more of analytical nature, wherein the single topic was discussed in depth rather than several topic surveys at level. But I suppose that that's down to one's luck and varies from board to board, person to person, day to day. That's very, very true. We have been telling that board to board, day to day, subject to subject, person to person, all will vary, right? And that's fine. And thank you very much for listening. And few more things and episodes we will complete the series. Thank you very much.
வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்தா லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க, கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க, பெல் ஐக்கன் பிரஸ் பண்ண மறந்து போயிடாதீங்க. அப்பதான் நாங்க போஸ்ட் பண்ற வீடியோவோட நோட்டிபிகேஷன் உங்களுக்கு வரும்.